What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being. And today, guys, on screen for you, I have the calisthenic workout that Mark and I did as promised in my last video. This is the full workout routine. I'll have it in the description box down below. It's giving all the details. But basically, guys, it's a variation-based calisthenic workout, and you can go about it one of two ways. For example, we did 4 variations of pull-ups. We did wide grip pull-ups, standard grip pull-ups, neutral grip pull-ups, and then underhand chin-ups. And the way you can go about it, guys, is that you can count each variation as a set, so that would be 4 sets in total, or you can do 3 sets of each variation, just depending on how much time you have available to you, or if you're a beginner or intermediate, like just kind of what your level is based off working with your body weight. If you're someone where you're just brand new to it or you're a beginner, then I recommend just counting each variation as a set. If you want to really challenge yourself, then you can do each variation for a total of 2 to 3 sets. And then there'll be the same thing with the push-ups, as you guys will see come on screen. We did decline push-ups, we did diamond push-ups, and then standard push-ups. And then from there, everything's pretty straightforward, just a normal 3 sets of as many as you can on bodyweight dips, inverted row, and then we did a little bit of ab work at the end. But as I said, the full workout will be in the description down below. I'll have details of each exercise up on screen. But what I really want to talk to you guys about today, just because this is something that I definitely feel needs to be addressed. And for once, not so much because of other people's channels, well, in part due to other people's channels, but mainly because I'm seeing it a lot on my channel as far as in the comments section. And that's, guys, stop taking things out of context. I'm going to be pretty blunt, as I always try to be. I try to be honest, but I may come across a little bit harsh in this video, and I apologize for that, but this just needs to be said. You guys have heard me say time and time again that I don't care what your favorite YouTuber says, in the sense that facts are facts, science is science, and myths are myths. Meaning, I don't care if your favorite YouTuber tells you to drink your piss in order to put on 10 pounds more muscle. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it so, because I feel like a lot of people have this mindset where, hey, my favorite YouTuber's word is law, regardless of if it's rational or not, regardless if it's been disproven. I don't care. I'm going to do this because that's what they're doing, without taking into consideration that, hey, your favorite YouTuber may be making gains in spite of something that they're doing, not because of something that they're doing, or the fact that, hey, your favorite YouTuber may be enhanced, and therefore it doesn't matter what he does or she, they're going to make gains regardless. But more specifically, guys, I want to talk about not taking things out of context, in the sense of oftentimes your favorite YouTubers are saying something that's incorrect, that's actually correct, but you guys tend to take it to an extreme where you go to a whole new level with it that it was never intended. And I just want to use this for example. So a lot of you have been asking me, both on Instagram and in my comment sections, about the biological law of accommodation, and why I don't rotate exercises weekly, why I'm not always changing exercises, how I'm able to get bigger and stronger when I'm not changing exercises, because you guys have taken out of context something that AlphaDestiny, that I know that I've heard him say, because yes, guys, I finally did start watching him, since so many of you kept recommending him to me. Been watching for the past couple months. Like the guy, like his stuff, his great knowledge base. But once again, you guys are taking things he said out of context, or not listening to the full scope of what he is saying, because he, as well as many not many others, but a few other YouTubers, understand the biological law of accommodation, which I've even gone over myself in past videos, which basically says, after 3 weeks, you are no longer going to receive any growth stimulus from the same exact training. In other words, if you're doing 3 sets of 10 with 100 pounds on a movement, after 3 weeks, you can't keep doing that, or you're not going to get any stronger. You're not going to make any gains, because your body adapts to it. It almost becomes just like walking, right? When a toddler first goes from crawling to walking, they're going to get some decent leg growth from that, just because it's a load that they're not used to. But at this point, as a grown adult, I don't care who you are, you're not going to make that many gains in your legs. You're not going to make any gains in your legs, period, from just walking around, right? So something has to change in your stimulus. And a lot of people have taken how AlphaDestiny goes about it with his concurrent style training, which is rotating exercises, without realizing that that's only one way to go about it. And that's really a more advanced way to go about it, in a way that most people, being perfectly honest, since most people aren't advanced lifters, don't need to do. All you have to do, guys, is change the parameter of what you're doing. You don't have to necessarily change exercise, just change your parameters. If you're doing 3 sets of 10, okay, do 3 sets of 11. If you're doing 3 sets of 10 with 100 pounds, do 3 sets of 10 with 105 pounds. That's progressive overload. Progressive overload, guys. That's the whole point. The reason I hit home progressive overload so much and say it is the underlining most important key factor of getting stronger or muscle growth, is because progressive overload is what bypasses the biological law of accommodation. Like I said, you just have to do a little bit more than what you were doing. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do more every single workout. You should strive to, depending on how your program is set up, whether it's linear progression, linear periodization, whatever type of progression you're on, you should strive to see like, weekly increases, or like, your Mondays, if your Mondays look the same, your Wednesdays look the same, then yeah, you should be looking for increases each Monday, each Wednesday, like looking to progress in some way. But that's why I always emphasize, whether it's more sets, more reps, more weight, that's gonna bypass the biological law of accommodation, guys. You don't have to rotate exercises. And honestly, doing that too often when you don't know what you're doing as far as your programming is a bad thing, because you have no way to really track progression. For example, you guys will see what AlphaDestiny is doing, but you're not understanding how he's going about it. He's not going in there and changing every single exercise that he does every single time, or just going from something completely random. Like, for example, if you go from, okay, I'm gonna do bench press this week, then I'm gonna do chest press next week, then weighted dips next week, then the overhead press the week after that, it's like, it's kind of hard to progress on any of these movements. Why? Well, because you have no consistency with them. You have no connection between them. So in all honesty, for most people, you want to be consistent with your lifts. That's why I've done a video before, and I'll link it in the description down below, talking about why you don't want to program hop, why you don't want to just hop from program to program over and over and over. Why? Well, because if you do that, you're not going to be consistent. Like, people want to get on a program for 3 weeks then hop, or even certain programs are based off like 12-week periodizations, and that's okay, that's fine. My point is, it's okay to have staple movements, guys. I've always had squats in my program, I've always had bench press in my program, weighted dips and pulls have been my programming for a long time now, and I'm still growing, I'm still getting stronger, I'm still progressing on those movements. So that's all I'm trying to explain, guys, that biological law of accommodation just means, hey, change something up, do a little bit more than you did last time. After 3 weeks, you can't grow from the same stimulus. That's literally all it means. Another example would be, okay, let's talk about Chris. Okay, a lot of you take things he says out of context when he talks about making sure, you have a full range of motion, when he talks about making sure, mind to muscle connection, getting that brief squeeze, maybe like that good strong contraction. Once again, you take that out of context. If you're going through the full range of motion and using proper form, you're gonna get that good squeeze, you're gonna get that contraction. The point is, he's addressing that to people who like just want to swing the weight around, who don't want to use proper form, don't want to have any type of control. And once again, you guys will go to the extreme of thinking that doing that, like that proper form, that contraction, controlling the weight, is gonna lead to more gains, even if you aren't progressing in weight. Even though Chris himself has often said, we've even had this conversation, as a natural lifter, you have to get stronger to progress. You can't keep working with the same weight over and over and over and over and expect to get benefits from it. Something has to change. You need to be moving that weight for more reps, or you need to be increasing the weight itself. If you're doing the same amount of sets and reps, increasing the weight itself. And I know for a fact that he said that in videos before. Yet people will take this out of context for no reason. That's the thing you guys to understand, that basic principles, these basic principles that I'm teaching you on the channel, that I'm teaching them for a reason, because they are the building blocks. They are what matters for gains. Everything else, the variations, the tools, they're just there to help you. They're tools for you to utilize as needed, but they are not the end all be all of anything. And I just want to make that clear, and want you guys to really fully understand that, because it gets just a tad bit frustrating answering the same type of question over and over again, when it's like, it's something I've addressed in several videos. And then people, it's one thing, I don't mind answering a question when someone just doesn't understand something, or when they say, oh, well, I've researched this, and how's that compared to this? But when somebody's like answer is like, well, so-and-so said this, or so-and-so said that, once again, I don't care what your favorite YouTuber says. It doesn't matter. Facts are facts. But it's even more frustrating when they take a YouTuber that actually knows what they're talking about, but they misconstrue what's being said, or take what they're saying out of context. I'm not saying this at all to say that, once again, what AlphaDestiny and Chris and many other YouTubers allow what they teach, it's correct. But the problem is, you have to look at it in the context of what they're saying. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to address that. This is sort of like venting a little bit, but once again, I like to have transparency with you guys. I like you guys to really understand where I'm coming from. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below. Let me know that you did. If you did not enjoy it, leave a comment down below letting me know what I can do to get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific, and I will catch you guys later.